Yes. Woo! Hello out there. All of my tea sippers, darlings, how are you? Baby, it's another glorious Wednesday, honey. So you know what time it is. So get your crumpets together, baby, because it's time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings. With Big Meach. Hey, babies. Woo! Yes, honey, another week has passed, child. Oh, when I tell you a girl needs a vacation, honey, I mean it. Okay? I mean it. However, I'm strategically planning it, honey. So when I have it, honey, trust me, I'll come back with fresh tea from a new pot, honey. But until that time, darling, we still got some wonderful tea for you. If you're listening by computer and wish to chime in, please, I want you to dial 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. And we can get you in. And when you call in, press the number 1, and then that way your hand will raise on my switchboard here, and I know you want to talk. Otherwise, you'll just be listening to the show by telephone, okay? If you're over on the computer and wish to chat in the tea room or the chat room, it is open, and I welcome you to go over there and to dish your tea responsibly. Hey, Big Chub, Dummy Tree, and Guest 2003. Hey, babies. Thank you for coming on in. I will say this, over here in the tea room, I want you to dish your tea over there responsibly, please. Just remember that this is the written word, and many times folks will misinterpret the way things are written because of from our own experiences or whatever. We think someone may be saying it with certain inflections or whatever. But this is the written word, and I encourage you to dish your tea over there responsibly. We can all disagree, but please don't be disagreeable, because if I see you over there acting crazy, I will cut you, okay? 1-0 chop, baby, and I mean it. You hear? All right. Now, if you have questions, comments, concerns, show ideas, Dear Meach letters, any kind of for something that you want to share with Dishing Tea, I encourage you, please, to send all of that over. Go to www.dishingtea.com. That's www.dishingtea.com, and you can go to the website there. You can email me there, press something up there, or you can email me directly at Big Meach at dishingtea.com. That's Big Meach, BIGMEACH, at dishingtea.com, okay? So, yes. Wait a minute, I'm catching my breath here because I don't want to jump ahead of myself. I want to be a little bit more relaxed today. I don't want to sound rushed, but I'm going to enjoy my day. Y'all know, I got to go to the donut factory like most folks do. And while we're at the donut factory, we got to make a couple of donuts, And today is my day off. And I've been working I've been working like the last 8 days straight, consecutively, I should say. And so, yeah, if I seem a little winded or whatever, it's because I'm enjoying the comfortability of being home. Mom. So that there is that. Now, I'm going to put my disclaimer here because this is very important. This show is for mature audiences only, and the language and or subject matters are not appropriate for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matters. Your listening discretion is advised. I'll repeat that. This show is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters are not appropriate for children or anyone who is not adult or mature enough to handle the subject matters. Your listening discretion is advised. So if you're listening by computer, if you're somewhere where there's children anywhere, you may want to govern yourselves accordingly. For those of you who know me, y'all know I have a potty mouth, and I make no excuses for it. I don't know what bag I'm coming out of, just know that I'm coming out of one. So you need to govern yourselves accordingly, because you bitches are not going to be sending me Jim Meach letters about how you done got tore up on the job or whatever the case may be, because you are not responsible. Either turn your volumes down respectively, or put your headphones on, remove the children, and all of those things, honey, so consider yourselves warned. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Now, you guys know I have all of my sponsors, and I want to thank them, but we're going to do one better. So I've given them some verbal stuff. So throughout the show, we'll be having a word from our sponsor moments. I love that. So let's get right into this. Now, today's show, I brought on my guest today, my sister friend, honey. She's an acquaintance and an associate of mine, and I just love her spirit, and I love what she's doing here in the ATL. And this is for all of you out there who are in the entertainment industry, whether you are actor, singer, filmmaker, screenwriter, director, producer. I want to say producer, honey, because we're looking for a lot of producers. Those of you who know how to raise funds and coins to get the movie projects up and running. My sister here, Miss Cynthia Collins. She is the executive director over at Film Atlanta, and also she co-partners the Get Connected Mixers, the entertainment mixers that go on down here the last Thursday of every month here in Atlanta. And I want to make sure we have a mixer coming in tomorrow, and this is going to be an opportunity for Cynthia to come on. We're going to talk about both organizations, although I feel that they're like one and the same because of the people that we network with, whatever. But we're going to talk about what the nuances are, and then how you, as the person looking to get into the entertainment industry, could start to cut your chops, because some of you are brand new babies. Others of you are looking, how to get into this, what people we need to do, and this, that, and the third. And then if you're like me, who don't have a lot of time to commit to coming to the meetings and stuff anymore, or if you don't have reliable transportation, because a lot of stuff is way out in, y'all know Georgia. Georgia's like New York, honey. Everything has its own island or whatever. This is a way to get to the Get Connected Mixers, where you can centralize yourselves and work and network with folks. I am happy to say that since Get Connected had gotten started back in January of this year, they have become the proud recipients of a commendation for Outstanding Community Service Award from the City of Atlanta and the Honorable Mayor Kasim Reed. Isn't that lovely? So without any further ado, come on up in here, Miss Cynthia Collins, my darling. Hey, Sugar Plum. What's going on, baby girl? I didn't know that you had got the thing from old Mayor Kasim Reed. Go on, girl.
Mm-hmm. Can you believe it? I mean, it's just been like a whirlwind.
Wow. Congratulations on that, honey. And in
Thank
such a
you.
short time, I mean, wow.
Right.
I will say the mixers, honey, are just absolutely fantabulous as far as, the folks coming together and being able to network and this, that, and the other. Now, we're going to talk about that in just a few moments, because I want folks to be clear on that. But I will say this, and the one that I attended, I have to give you kudos, because Ms. Thing, you worked your ass off for those. And to watch you, just to watch you function at the function, I can only imagine what the preparation for it was, because what you were doing there was incredible. And I have to give you your flowers for that, because it's just absolutely lovely. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I can't take full credit for the event. We have two other partners, which is myself and then Autumn Bailey, who is the visionary of the event. Autumn Bailey, and then it's Brent Brooks. And so we're all three partners for the Get Connected event. Each one of us individually have our own organizations. I have the Film Atlanta Productions, and we do a meetup every third Wednesday of the month. And then Autumn is Autumn Bailey Entertainment. She's on fire young producer in the city. And, I mean, this girl is she's been featured on the Atlanta Tribune's cover and various issues of various magazines throughout town. So she was, for me, when I hooked up with her, it was like, I saw, the possibilities in, just her energy and what she was bringing to the table. And then Brent Brooks, who is he's our brother from another mother. He's
How about
our
it?
Caucasian counterpart, who helps to diversify our audience, and we love it. So, yeah.
Oh, well, wonderful, wonderful. Now let's go back and let's talk about the beginnings of Get Connected and exactly its purpose.
Okay. Now, so getting back to Autumn Bailey, Brent Brooks and I were originally, we've always been friends kind of for the past couple of years. We hooked up through my Film Atlanta meetup. I started doing my meetups. They were originally, and if anybody knows about this, Film Atlanta meetup was like an ongoing meetup in the filmmaker industry. They would meet up, once a month at Manuel's Tavern downtown, and it kind of got started back in 2003. And I think I remember you, Meach, coming to some of those meetups. Remember?
I did.
Right. So we started we would all meet up back there, then at Manuel's. And one thing led to another. The original organizer of the meetup at the time, his name was Jimmy Lee Smith. And Jimmy Lee, due to personal issues, decided to move to Tennessee. And he left around 2008, 2009. And then another director named Eric Coker decided to come in. And Eric is another on-fire, director
right.
in town.
Yes, he is.
So Eric moved out to L.A., and so, I had been co-organizing with him by that time. I had started, getting my foot in the door in the industry, and we'll talk about that, I guess, in a few minutes. But so Eric said, Cynthia, you've been doing a great job. You need to just go ahead and take over this meetup. I'm getting ready to go to L.A. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll do it. I'm loving, this whole thing. So I went ahead and stepped in. And, I'm like one of those, me, if I see opportunity, you know what I mean? It's not
right. Dig it.
I'm going
Dig
in. So, I went ahead and took over running the meetup. And Meach, when I tell you that things just have blown up for me, like, I can't even, fathom right now. It's just crazy. Just from stepping in that door to run a meetup.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what happened from the meetup, I started doing them because we got kicked out of Manuel's Tavern, long story short.
Right, because they started growing.
It started growing, and a lot of our folks, unfortunately, didn't want to buy because we had a lot of us coming in at the time, and they wasn't really buying drinks and beer and stuff like that. So
exactly.
We said, okay, well, let's go. Brent Brooks had his studio over there, and he was like, you guys can come in here and use my space. And for me, it was another opportunity because it would diversify my following, and that's what I needed. And so I hooked up with Brent. And Brent and I became very good friends, business partners. We have been doing some great things in the industry. And so now it's at a point where Autumn approached Brent and said, I want to do this Get Connected event. And that was back in November of last year. And Brent said, well, I got somebody I want to introduce you to. She has a great following, through Film Atlanta. And I think that, she might be a good asset. And so that's how it all came about. He, introduced me to Autumn. Yeah,
okay.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now we got the three minds that then came together to carve out this fantastic mixer. Now, what is the goal and its mission of Get Connected Atlanta?
Okay, well, that's a wonderful question. When we first started out, it was just going to be a mixer. You know what I'm saying? It was just going to be a bunch of filmmakers coming together and networking, just kind of like playing catch up with one another and stuff. And so we did our first one in January at Gordon Bier's restaurant downtown on Peachtree. And Meach, when I tell you over 700 people came out to the first event for this mixer, it blew us away. we were expecting it just kind of like, we were, said, well, okay, we'll give away some, free hors d'oeuvres and, discount drinks and stuff like that. But what it was is that the industry was hungry for an event like this, it turned out. You know what I mean? We found out that, through feedback that a lot of the new actors and new filmmakers, they had no real means of networking. They were just used to their same old circles of, production companies and whatever, but there was nothing really to connect them with the next connection that they needed to get to the next steps.
Exactly.
So we did the first one, and it was an overwhelming success, and we started getting all this feedback and input, and people began to tell us, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they would like, to see happen and take place. And so since January through now, Get Connected has also become a resource for independent filmmakers and actors and professionals, on the come up in this industry. So we provide various types of vendors at our events. So from that relate to the industry. So we've invited, special effects, makeup artists to all the casting agents and, we do film screenings. So we give independent filmmakers a chance to film their projects now, screen their projects. And we've had celebrity guests come out just because they were in town hanging out and heard about Get Connected. And so we've got, any month there, you never know who's going to be there. It's just become a resource, and we've actually even gotten involved with the community. We make it a point each month to go out and participate in some type of community event. Last month we participated in Feeding the Hungry downtown at, I forget the name of the mission, but so we went out and participated in giving out food and so forth, for, I'm sorry I said the hungry, you know what I mean, homeless. So we participated in that. We've done Trees Atlanta, went out and, and just encouraging our following to get involved with the community as well. We focus a charity each month at Get Connected that, to give to. And, from the donations that we get, from the proceeds we receive, we always focus on giving back to a charity through our proceeds that we make. So we give a portion of it to charities, and it's been a huge. We've probably supported about 5 charities since we've been in existence. All kinds of it's just been blowing up.
I am digging it. Now let's go here because I want folks to understand your particular background because a lot of folks don't know that you are a casting director and that you have your own other endeavors. I see that you're an actress as well. You're a musician. Tell the folks about you that qualifies you to be in this particular position.
Okay, yeah. You said actress and musician?
Yes, I saw that in the bio I read of yours, honey. I'm doing my research.
Oh, I don't know what bio you read.
I'm going to tell you, it's on Facebook.
Oh, my gosh. No, I have I don't know how to even blow. No, I don't know how to. I'm not a musician at all.
They sure got it down here in your bio that you're a musician. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you have to let me know about that later. But no, okay. I got my foot in the door actually through casting. And let me just tell you how that came about for anybody out there who may be interested in getting into, the casting or the industry in general. Let me just share with you. My background was completely in corporate America. When I came to Atlanta 6 years ago, I got a job working at Emory University as a recruiter. I was worked in the recruiting department and was a recruiter for 6 years that I was there. And that is what I did. I met an actor in the industry when I moved here, and we started dating and eventually got hooked up, and we were together for like 3 going on 4 years, Daryl Moore. Daryl is, I would say, has a lot to do with me getting my having an interest, because he used to say, you've got a great knack for people, and, you're just very good with people. He said, you probably do very well in casting. So one thing led to another. I met a young lady who was looking for some casting assistant for some of her projects she was working on. And I just offered to help her. That's one way you can get in. We're always looking for, assistants, to help us out with stuff. And I knew I was pretty skilled in what I did in terms of, my administrative background and my background in HR. So I said, well, I know how to, hook up people with the right position. Maybe I could do this for acting, casting. And so one thing led to another. I started helping her, and it was so funny. I'll tell you a funny story. How it really, really blew up was, we were going to a big mega church in Atlanta at the time, and she was casting for this. She was casting for a production that required, almost like a church choir,
right?
And so, I was just blasting it around and getting random submissions or whatever. But so my friend said, well, you know what, I got connections with the choir over at Newburgh. So he went over there and put it out over there, and don't you know that whole choir from Newburgh showed up. They blew out. They blew up the phone. They blew up this guy's phone. The casting director. He was like, who in the hell is this Cynthia Collins? His phone was blowing up for people submitting for me. He said, I can't get no sleep. I can't. I mean, he just went.
Did he go off on?
He went off on the lady that I was assisting because they said, tell them that Cynthia Collins referred you, and. I mean, it was hilarious because I guess he never expected all of these, people to be calling in, and that choir is huge, it's huge. And so anyway, my name got out there. After that,
I guess so. Okay, tell us Cynthia Collins referred you. Okay, that upset the man and say, Lord Jesus.
So, I mean, hey, whatever, it worked. I mean, he got his choir feel, obviously, but
okay.
But yeah, we're all of us are in the same circles now. We know each other, and we're cool with one another, but. I have to share that story with him now because he was just actually at one of our Get Connected events screening one of his latest films. But, yeah, I got to remind myself to share that story with him because it was hilarious at the time. It was crazy. But
well,
I'm not
damn. Hot damn, honey. Okay, she done came. And I saw, I conquered by being a referral source. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Just tell us Cynthia Collins referred you. Okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
All right. So now let me ask this, because see, now that you're on this side of the industry, or should I say in the entertainment industry, what are the similarities between your corporate America work with dealing with folks in human resources and hiring for positions versus dealing with actors and those who are temperamental and got egos when you're looking for them for films or other theatrical projects?
Man, you asked some good questions, Meach. You asked some really good questions. You know what? I've always, it's like I said, it's going on 6 years for me. To say I've officially been involved with the industry, and I can honestly say that at one point I wasn't into this very self-absorbed I mean, I guess we all need to look out for ourselves. That's a given. We all need to look out for number one, and that's, I do, accept that. But what I did have a problem with some of the selfishness that I came across. I mean, it was just very selfish and self-absorbed, and I've always been on the other end of the spectrum. I mean, I enjoy people, and I love being of service and helping people, so that's what worked for me. But when you get these people who feel like you owe them something, or that, it's all about me, it can drain. It can become very draining. Recruiting, you hired that person, you got that person for that position, and pretty much you didn't have to deal with them, after that. You know what I mean?
See. Right.
And on this end, they know you. They're gonna always be reaching out to you for something, because they just feel like, you can help them in some way. So I get a lot of that. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Can you do this? Can you do that? Type of thing. And I guess because I'm out there in that type of, networking type thing, people, feel that I'm accessible like that. So that can be draining sometimes, just that as a casting director, it's not, I love that because I love fitting, the actors in with the right, right types for the right roles. But that's fun. I think what becomes taxing is the business behind everything. I love the art, but it's the business part of it that can be real. You know what I mean?
You better speak on it, because that's I was going right in that direction.
Yeah.
What at this particular point, what is your greatest lesson that you've learned as far as dealing with the business of entertainment? I love asking that question to folks. What is your greatest lesson at this point thus far that you've learned and that you teach about this business called show?
Yes, this business called show. I would say the number one thing that you always want to do is to have a strong network of, like, you have an attorney. Always have an attorney and protect yourself. Protect your interests. So fortunately for me, I've been able to get involved with actors as well as filmmakers. So I'm on both sides of the spectrum now. I mean, I've been involved with deals now, negotiations for films, and I'm also involved with the casting side. So I get to experience both worlds, and I can say that from the filmmaking side and all that negotiations, baby, that go into, getting the money and protecting yourself, so because people steal out here. They steal your ideals. You know what I mean? And this whole Facebook thing and social networking is great, but my number one encouragement to anybody is to don't be putting your scripts out there and even your ideals. Just be careful about it because people will take it. If it's not copywritten, get your stuff copywritten, please. You know what I mean? If you've got a script or a concept, WGA, is another organization, the Writers Guild of America.
Writers Guild of,
You register your stuff with the Writers Guild if you're writing a script. All those little things that we tend to forget about because we're so excited, you know what I mean, about our project and sharing it and all that. But protect yourself. Get an attorney and protect yourself. That's my number one advice.
Get an attorney. Now, I haven't secured one of my own yet. However, here's the thing, and I want to go here because at the mixers, what do you see as a fault with people networking? Because most of us don't know how to network. So what do you see as a plus, and then what do you see as a fault when folks are out, quote-unquote, networking?
Yeah, that we get that all the time. A plus is knowing how to network. And see, one of the faults or mistakes that we make is we go up to a person and we want to sell our stuff right away to somebody. And networking is really about getting to know, being open to hearing what the other person is about before you know what I mean? It's nothing worse than having somebody walk up to you and throw their card at you and say, hey, I'm so-and-so and so-and-so, and I do so-and-so and so-and-so. And so, it's just like, you know what I'm saying?
Girl, do I know it? Oh, that just bothers me. Girl, that bothers the hell out of me. I'm serious. That bothers the absolute hell out of me because they interrupt your conversation. They have no class, no pizzazz, no nothing about them to make me want to remember them, but just this damn annoyance stance. And then they go in for this hard sell, and I got a cocktail. So, okay, what?
Oh my goodness! So we're putting together some networking 101 classes just for that.
Oh, wonderful!
We find that a lot of us really just don't know how to network effectively. So effective networking could mean that there may be certain key people that you want to speak with anyway, and so we're working on devising some type of way for people to be able to determine, okay, they are a director or they are, working on this. That's who I want to speak with, and that's who I'm going to work my way over to, during the course of the evening. You know what I mean? So we are working on that. We have tried several techniques like putting a colored dot on the badge, but for some reason, I don't know, that didn't work. So we are now looking at setting up microphones and doing like a fishbowl type thing where you put your business cards in and we'll draw business cards throughout the night and announce certain, you figure an event that has 700 people at it. You can't get to everybody that night, announce everybody.
Exactly.
But there has to be some effective way of people being able. We may even open up a small area and say, hey, this is the area where if you want to come over and exchange business cards and network, you can do it right in this area or something. I don't know. But if you have any ideas, let me know. Because it's just, it's been very useful for a lot of people. I would say so. The pros is that you do get to meet some very interesting people that you may not normally get to meet. Like a lot of those vendors, some top attorneys there that I know that, I probably wouldn't, have spent any time with. But I can go over to their table tomorrow and meet them face to face. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We'll also be able to do 3-minute pitches tomorrow. So if anybody out there has a film project that, or a concept, and they want to pitch it to someone who has access to funding for your project, that's an opportunity. You get 3 minutes to pitch your project tomorrow. So we try to arrange things like this for people to make it easier, to connect. And that's what it's all about.
Exactly. And let me say this, because when you're talking, 3 minutes is a long time.
Right.
Okay. 3 minutes of talking is a long time. I used to do debate in school, and we had to do an entire presentation in 8 minutes. And darling, when my coach would sit down there with the stopwatch and would show us what 60 seconds was, that's a long time when you're talking.
It is. It is.
Okay.
It really is.
So you have to make sure that when you're doing this pitch, and I'm saying this because I'm learning how to do this, I'm learning it myself because I'm one, I have the gift of gab and want to make sure that I have everything sounding right, and, I get caught up in words and making sure people understand this, and then, of course, brilliant kicks in, and then I want to make sure I got 15-syllable words to say stop, to seem like I'm impressing somebody. And it doesn't require all of that. And so as I'm learning, the pitch has to be, you have to understand what a log line is. The log line is a one-sentence One sentence synopsis, like you see in the TV guide or whatever, that tells exactly what the piece is about. Boom.
That's it. That's called the log line right there. Yeah.
Yep, that's the log line. And so when you get that, that there is that. So I just want to stress that 3 minutes is a lot of talking. And you can bore the hell out of somebody if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's where research comes in. Find out, how to effectively pitch. It's all kinds of information online. How can I prepare an effective presentation to pitch my project? Right away you want to capture their attention. In that first couple of seconds, you want to capture their attention. So those are the things that you want to look out for, because you can bore your audience, right away.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So, absolutely.
Exactly. Now, I want to say this because some of the vendors that were there, some of the food merchants and carrying on, them cupcake children, ooh, them cupcake children, were such a delight. And, because I never knew they could do little sample little cupcakes like that. I was like, child, they've come a long way with little caking and things.
Little teeny ones, right?
Yeah, just a little more so, honey, just enough to tease me, and then I can sit up there and act like I'm cheating on my diet when I really want to have the whole damn thing,
Right. I know, right?
Okay. Now, I'm bringing him up because, there's opportunities that, like, folks who come in perhaps may not be into the acting or the production end of entertainment. Maybe they may be on the other side of it, maybe cooking or book writing or whatever. How does the Get Connected feature them as well as the other side of entertainment? Because everybody thinks entertainment, acting, singing, dancing, movies, theater, but we forget, cooking, readings, artwork. Like I love when the special effects children came, the guy who does all the props, and girl, he was fascinating.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And let me answer that question. We are very open. We had to follow certain policies because of the venue we were at. We were at 200 Peachtree for the past 4 months, and that's a big swanky, location,
right.
And they had a certain image that they wanted to project. So their thing was, well, we don't want to look like a big, trade show or whatever, expo or whatever.
Oh, okay, right.
So they kind of limited us to just having industry-related vendors. And then, but now that we're moving to our new space, which we are now moving as of tomorrow, we will be at the Foundry at Puritan Mill, which is right next to, it's like right a couple doors down from a food bank off of Joseph E. Lowry. And if you're coming from 75, it's off of Howell Mill and Marietta area up there.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, so it's North Lowry, I guess it would be called the north end of Lowry. And but we have more leverage there. We can bring in who we want to bring in. I mean, I might bring in a panty vendor, I don't know, but
how about it? Okay.
But I'm just saying, we have more. We're more open now to bring in the various vendors, and I'm open to everyone being able to expose their business and what they do. So. Now, in terms of, someone who sells cookies or who, like you said, is more fashion-oriented in it, we would have a special area designated for those types of vendors, like a certain area for anyone outside of the industry. I think that would be good, I welcome that. Yeah.
Because it also goes hand in hand, because when we're looking at a complete project, and I forgot what I was looking at. I think it might have been something related to the Oscars or something, and they were talking about how each particular piece breaks down in a film. Without the cinematography, without wardrobe, this movie would look like this. Without, and they broke it down to where how each particular component is a necessity for this particular piece. So even though we know the the aesthetics of the industry, we need to also know the counter aesthetics that help to make it up. Because without, we have writers there. Yes, we have script writers, but then a lot of screenwriters end up adapting books. So if you have an author there who has his book that's a good book, that could possibly become someone else's latest project, new, and all of that. It becomes a big circle of life, And I love that. Yeah. And then, of course, you talk about the panty vendor. Well, Victoria's Secrets, everybody, now the industry has gotten a little bit more risque. So they may need a stylist, who only does lingerie,
Well, you know what, and that's true. That is very true. As a matter of fact, I'm a filmmaker. I'm a filmmaker now. Yay! I can, I feel good, about saying that. And the way that, and what I'm trying to get at is that being behind the scenes and working on the film, I now know that we need various types of sponsors. So, I mean, right now I need a sponsor for a project I'm working on that deals with kids' clothes. So don't you think that I won't have any, we'd be reaching out to some vendors like that, who sell kids' clothes? You know what I mean? We need all kinds of kids-related, stuff. I've got to, just to share with the audience, we're also launching Kids Connect, which is a offshoot of Get Connected, but it's for parents with child entertainers. So it's so it's every first Saturday of the month, right after Get Connected, we do a Kids Connect, and that came about through Get Connected because we had all these parents with these very talented kids, and they were bringing them out to get connected, and but they just kind of felt out of place with all the alcohol.
Right.
And all the stuff that was going on. And so the parents were like, we started getting feedback like it would be really nice to do something, with the kids and for the parents. And so that's how this came about. So now here we are. We're launching that November 5th. Yeah. So getting back to your question, I am completely open because a movie wouldn't be a movie without all those little things that, makes a movie. From clothes to from fashion to music. I mean, we welcome musicians to our events. If you're a composer and or a producer, even artists. I mean, we welcome music industry, the fashion industry, the food industry. Anything. I mean, we welcome it.
You got to have your artists because they create your storyboards.
Exactly.
Exactly. And a lot of folks don't understand. Those little things, and as I'm learning, honey, I'm telling you, I become fascinated like a kid again. So I'm like, oh my God, there's so many different ways that we can exercise our talent, and then many of us are multifaceted anyway, and so you may have to find your niche. Now I'm an actor, I'm a singer, I'm a female impersonator. For those who don't know, and then with the radio, then I got the radio show, and it's the radio show that's given me a lot more, and taking me where I need to go versus the other avenues. And it's not to say that I like one better than the other. It's just this is the avenue that's picked up. So with that and being able to network and everything, there's kind of like the key, or at least one of the tools that I like to, when I was there, I like to tell folks, hone in on some of the other things, because maybe you may want to be in front of the camera, but you could volunteer, here.
Absolutely.
And go in and help or whatever if you have some time. That way you can still hone in on your craft and all of that.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
we welcome that.
Okay. Let me do this because I got to say hi to my sponsor. So we're going to take a quick break. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I want you to dial in 347-205-9183, 347-205-9183. Hit the number 1 and then let your hand come up. And if you have something to say, I will bring you on if you have questions, comments, or concerns, and I will bring you on right after these few words.
Trade Day Management and Publicity Firm, an Atlanta-based PR production and management consultancy firm specializing in aggressive publicity and exposure campaigns, artist development, leveraging mutually beneficial relationships, and brokering deal with integrity. At Trade Day Management, enjoy a touch of Southern hospitality with a universal appeal. For all of your public relations and entertainment management needs, contact Travion Davenport at 678-523-3088. That's 678-523-3088, or email at tradedaypr@gmail.com. That's Tradeday, TREADAYPR@gmail.com. Trade Day Management and Publicity Firm. Pharaoh's Treasure Box. Fine art, unique jewelry, and sensational 3D silk floral arrangements. Creations by Taps. For all of your decorative needs, contact Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or 5179. Again, that's 248-688-5178 or 5179. Or you could email at Pharaoh's Treasure Box at yahoo.com. That's Pharaoh's Treasure Box, PHAROAHS Treasure Box at yahoo.com. To see the collection or to purchase, go to www.buysellcommunity.com/store/Pharaoh's Box. Again, that's www.buysellcommunity.com/store/Pharaoh's Box, and that's PHAROAHZ Box. Pharaoh's Treasure Box of Detroit, Michigan. Fine art, unique jewelry, and sensational 3D silk floral arrangements. The Caribbean American Boys Entertainment. We specialize in jerk and conch food catering, party promotions and emceeing, entertainment with a Caribbean swagger, island fever on the mainland, bam bam. We also provide customized tour guides through gay-friendly Bahamas to all the hot spots of dining and club life events. Mr. Silvano T. DeMarco is the founder and CEO of the CABC. For more information, please contact him at Caribbean Boys ATL at yahoo.com. That's Caribbean Boys with a Z, ATL at yahoo.com, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. That's facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. Caribbean American Boys Entertainment. Island fever on the mainland. Bam bam. Take yourself and your thoughts to the next level with Above Consciousness clothing. The clothing that not only brings about style and character, but it also raises the bar of consciousness so that we can be a better people, a better community, a better humanity. Whether it is to turn your tickle box over with our whimsical designs or challenge your thoughts and beliefs with our social awareness designs, Above Consciousness clothing is sure to titillate your spirit, tantalize your senses, and rivet your soul. Welcome to the next evolution of fashion, Above Consciousness clothing. For more information, please go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Above Consciousness clothing.
This is Haji Abdul from Above Conscious Clothes and Kissing After Dark. When I want to hear the T straight, no chaser, I go to Big Meach on Blog Talk Radio.
And we are back. All right. Woo. If you're just joining us, honey, I'm sitting down here talking with Miss Cynthia Collins, honey. She is the Executive Director of Film Atlanta and one of the co-partners of the Get Connected Mixers here in the Atlanta area. For all of those who are in the entertainment industry, whether you're an actor, singer, director, writer, producer, or any form of entertainment, if you're in the industry and need to reach out and to network and to feel empowered, to understand what your next move may be, to understand how to get information on to put your best foot forward to bring about to life your projects, this is the lady, honey, who's helping to bridge that gap between the unknown and the known, okay? So now, Cynthia, darling, I have noticed that every month there seems to be an attached theme with the Get Connected, and I'm digging that. What's the goal behind the themes, and how did that come into play?
Yeah, that was still more a method to appeal to the audience. We sit around in our production meetings and we talk about, what would be useful for our audience. And we know that our first one we did in January. It was just, we didn't have a theme. I think we just started we just did the mixer, and then that following month we did. By March, we did a casino night, and that took off. I mean, it was like we had the slot machines there, and we had it was like a fun themed night, and from that event on, we just started really doing the themes. Either it was going to be a fun-filled theme or it was going to be one that was going to be informative. And so because the audience started telling us, well, we like the themes, and so in June, one of our biggest themes was June we did film and fashion. And so we incorporated with a lot of fashion producers in town, and they came out and they just put on fashion shows, because what would a film be without fashion, right? We need fashion in some shape or form in a film. So that went off very well. We had a huge following from that event, and then we did one right after that called Film and Music, because what would a film be without music? And so we just think about, just like we were saying earlier, how can you correlate and join from the other facets in our industry, with film industry, to join them together, and everything, kind of, works. It all works together. It all, comes together. Food. I would like to do one with film and food, and correlate.
Girl. Because as you all know, honey, baby, we know who got budget and who don't, based on that catering, girl. On them.
Right. True. Y'all go on those sets and get some pizza, maybe for
girl,
maybe
bagels and coffee, honey. I was on it was bagels and coffee, but I was like, honey, I'm here. I didn't come here to eat, although that would have been cute. But we came here to work, and we're speaking, and joshing about it. But with that being in mind, like I said earlier, honey, looking at you run this and your team run this.
Mm-hmm.
How often do folks misconstrue this from you having? Or thinking that this is just not. I don't know why she's gonna put all this together. Do people misconstrue that as it being a throw off, as opposed to a throw up, into the universe, or the omniverse, as I call it, to pick up and to go forward?
I wish, and I'm really praying and believing that that's the energy that we're putting out there and we want to project, because obviously, we're putting in a lot of our time and energy to make this event happen. And it's not just, this is just from our heart. This event, we don't make a lot of money doing this event, believe it or not. We're putting a lot of money out here. It's we're partnered with a nonprofit organization, so, much of what we make, we have to put back into operations and all that. But it was designed because Autumn, what happened with her, she was going to these networking events around town, and a lot of them were like more business and entrepreneurial related, and she just felt like she wasn't getting what she needed from the networking events that she was attending. So she said, okay, I would like to see this at an event that, I attend in the film industry. And so that's how it all came about, just her ideal of what she would like to see, and it just started developing from that point on. So now we're at this point here in September, where we honestly only thought it was going to last for about 3 months, because believe me, trust me, there have been imitators coming out there, that's been trying to do what we're doing. And, one of the things that we also promote is that it's enough to go around for everybody. So we don't take on that whole, copying and all that stuff. If people, we just believe and would like to put it out there that we've created a wonderful model. And if people think that they can do what we're doing and they can do it better or they can match what we're doing, then so be it. That's great. But there are some imitators and some people coming up that are doing some very wonderful things. They're doing it on the same days we do it, charging the same price we're doing it. All that we have to say about that is great. It's wonderful. How can we leverage off of each other instead of, competing against each other, because that's just not the whole spirit of Get Connected, and that's not what we want to be. We want it to be that how can we support each other in all of our events. So Autumn really loves to promote each other. If it's an event, somebody's having an event at the same time we're having one, we'll promote it for them, if that's what they want us to do. We'll put it out on Facebook for them or whatever. But we try to be, show that, we're all about, we're not about that competition thing. We're really not. And I think that's why we've been really blessed because, our whole, energy behind this is about giving back and what can we do to better ourselves and develop ourselves and to help others to do the same. Because we're not claiming to be some big time, filmmakers and celebrities and all that, because we're not. We are the people, it's trying to come up just like all the rest of us, and we're being blessed, to develop as we've been going along throughout the years. And so our thing is, what can we give back to help some other? Me, I got a whole following of people that want to get into this industry and want to do better. Actors hit me up all the time, how can I get into the industry? What do I need to do? And I'm very open to helping them. I have, like I said, these networks established. I've got a relationship with many of the agents and managers and casting directors and all kinds of people around town as a result of me trying to help myself, you know what I mean, and then going on from there, so that's what it's all about for us. Yeah.
Here is the $65,000 question.
Mm-hmm.
For all the cash and the prizes, what do you recommend a person, if this is their first time coming or their repeat time, and maybe they didn't get it right the first time, what do you recommend a person bring with them to one of these mixers?
Yeah, and that's a good question because it's different for every person. So let's just say that it's you. And so you came out and, it was okay. You met a few people or whatever, but you really didn't meet the person that you wanted to meet, or, you just didn't feel like you got what you really wanted from it. Always, feel free to reach out to myself on Facebook or Autumn or Brent and just kind of be open and talk about it, because that helps us to make the event better, because maybe it was something that we didn't know about, you know what I mean? So we are very open to making adjustments. So for you, let's just say, for instance, you just did, and it was a whole room full of people, and you just found a place you didn't know who to walk up to. That's what I get sometimes. It's just like, I don't know who's who, and that type of thing.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do now myself, Cynthia, is to have a designated area where I will be a table, and people can come over and talk to me. And just be, and I can be there for them, because I get so many new people that love this event, and they think it's just because they don't know what to do otherwise. So coming to this is like a stepping stone for them, and it's like, okay,
right.
I'm here around my, other actors, and, I'm with the industry folks, and that's cool. But, a lot of us are new people want to come up just trying to, get to the next levels ourselves. And,
exactly.
But having said that, a lot of us have experience now, and we've been, in a lot of places, and meaning we've experienced a lot more now than maybe what you will have experienced at this point. So we can guide you on what to and not to do. So I might say to you, well, this person, I get young actors all the time that say, well, I met somebody and they charged me a certain amount of money, to be with their agency and all this old stuff, And I mean, of course, we know now at this stage that you don't pay nobody to join no agency. You don't pay. You don't put no money out there to be joining no agency. That's just like, it's unheard of. You don't pay. You shouldn't. If you are asked to pay a fee to join an agency, something's not right.
That's right.
That's a red flag. That's a red flag.
That's right.
Okay. So now and then. Mind you, some agencies and groups do create their own packages where they might have headshots and they might do your headshot and for a portfolio with your bio, your headshot, and all that stuff. And I mean, and that's fine if that's something that you need, and if they offer a good deal for you, that's fine. But you should never pay a fee to join an agency. There are other little quirky things, like a lot of new actors don't know about the proper resume format. They don't know about a proper standard industry headshot and what's trending in the industry, how to submit. They don't know about that. They don't know about how to go into an audition and what the casting director is looking for. They don't know how to slate. I mean, these are little small minor things, but because a lot of these new kids coming in don't know this stuff, they need somebody to direct them. And that's where I come in. You know what I mean? And then, but we even take it to some other levels because, as filmmakers, we know now about a lot of the, ins and outs on the filmmaking side as well. And, that's why we bring in out attorneys. You asked that question before about the different themes. We've got attorneys coming out who can answer those basic legal questions that you might have about your film. Like, you're writing something about you had a question about rights to, who owns the rights, and what are my rights to this project is about the life story of someone else, and how to go about getting the rights and, just basic little small questions like that, we don't always have the answers for.
Yeah, the proper way to copyright, because a lot of folks get caught up in that poor man's copy. I just mail it back to myself, and that's cute. That's cute. But a lot of folks don't know, no, baby, we need a Library of Congress number so that, so that it can say that it was completely registered, honey. This is to protect everything so that the legal paperwork is together.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised at the stories that I've heard of people whose stuff was stolen. And, because their stuff wasn't copyrighted, there was nothing they could do about it. It was, it was nothing they could do. And even with some works, you'll find that it's been copywritten and they still try to take it. I mean, what was that big movie?
With the whole Terminator.
The Matrix. Yeah, the Matrix.
The Matrix.
I know the Matrix one too. Yeah, I mean, she went through a lot. You know what I mean? But she got paid. Eventually ended up after years getting paid. But that lady went through a lot.
Yes, she did. And she was an African-American woman, honey. A lot of folks didn't get that.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, having said that, this swings me here. Do you see that there are cultural disparities between us at the mixers? And what I mean by that is a lot of new babies who are African American or persons of color do they seem to come in at a disadvantage or a little bit more hype than our Caucasian counterparts? Do we still have that kind of disparities going on? Because sometimes, depending on our environment, sometimes our Caucasian counterparts may seem to be a little bit more knowledgeable. They could drop names and this, that, and the other. And I know it's an intimidation factor because, we all play that mind game when we at these particular places. But with that, do you see that as an issue or has it come up anywhere? maybe a topic of interest perhaps? Because I know with Brent being on, you were saying that, how it is important to understand the diversity of the group and understand that this is for everyone. But everybody still may come in with their own little prejudices or whatever that is.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, that's a good question too. My thing was I used to, and this was something that I had to get over myself. Coming in because I came from corporate America, so I worked with the majority of the people I worked with were from the Caucasian persuasion, and so I developed this whole reverence for them. Like I really looked up to them, and because I felt that. Coming from the hood and where I came from, my upbringing, I came straight from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I came from the hood, and
right.
So when I got into corporate America and started, being around them, and I just felt like they knew everything. They had all solutions, and then they seemed to work well together. But when it was like when I got around my people was the one that was always, full of drama and causing it, doing, this and that. I didn't think that we could accomplish stuff together. But as I got older, I got away from it because I started to see that, it's in every race. I don't care who you are,
exactly.
Everybody got drama, They just, I don't know what they do. They hide it better or whatever. I don't know, but because just my story is that, trust me, now that I'm on, I'm working more in the film industry with more white people, I see that they got drama just like us.
Okay.
Bottom line, they got drama just like us. But I think it's just that we are more open and, I don't know, what is dramatic about our drama? I don't know what it is.
We are dramatic about our drama, girl. That's a lie right there. That's a...
Let me tell you, when I did an audition once, and it was like one of my first times holding audition at a nice studio here in Atlanta, and I was involved with this sister who was producing this really great project. And long story short, this black sister didn't like me, and that's a long story behind that. But I won't say she didn't like me, but she had some issues, and so, but the sister threw her credentials in my face. She threw her resume, everything in my face. This lady is a working professional actor today, and she just, at this professional environment, threw her stuff in my face. Just threw it at me and said, "Here, is this what you want?" And I'll never forget that, because at that point I'm like standing there, ready to, be that, I was ready to punch her, really for real. I was ready to just go off on her.
You would have took her ass. Just be real, girl. I would have took her ass.
Okay, I was ready to go off on her. But, it was like, okay, what do I do at this point? I'm really trying to get my foot in this game and represent myself as a professional in this industry. Here I am in this, well-known studio around town, and then here I am going to be up in here fighting with this girl, being what they expect of us anyway. So I'm like, what? It's not worth it to me. I'm just going, so I just said a quick prayer, and the director ran over to me. She grabbed me. She was like, "Cynthia, I'm so sorry. I don't know what that was all about, but that was uncalled for, and I am so sorry." She couldn't apologize to me enough, because she knew at that point that if it had been her, she would have been kicking her behind, She would have been kicking her behind.
Okay.
But so she was glad that I didn't really ruin her set for the day, location, because it would have been messed up if we got to fighting up in there, knocking over cameras and all that stuff.
Exactly. Then it would have been costly, and then it made it bad for everybody else who may have wanted to come in to rent the space out or whatever.
Exactly, Meach. And so that's what I had to think about at that time. And you know what? That whole thing of her throwing that stuff in my face wasn't something I did. It was what somebody else did. And she took it, because I was with that person, that she took it out on me because they weren't there.
Right.
That type of thing.
Exactly.
And so to this day, she's going to have to look at me one day in my face, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because she made a decision that was very unprofessional at that point. Because if I'm casting for a huge project, which you never know what's coming down the pike, and she wants to get in that project, guess what? She threw her stuff in my face, okay? She chose to do that and be nasty with me.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, so getting back to, you know, the difference between, you know, the color, the ethnicity and all that, I don't know. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's a human nature. It's some of us hide it better than others, but it's drama everywhere, I think. Yeah.
Okay, now here's something. This may be a question that may go, let me consider that. Let me think about that. Because I know that we as people, and this is another human nature thing, coming to these kinds of events, we always gravitate to the people that we know. And we stay in our own little cliques. And then we won't move if they don't move. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Right.
So, you know, has there been discussion or something that may come into play? I know you were saying, okay, you know, this may be the area, you know, a separate area where we exchange business cards or whatever over here. But have you thought about maybe doing something that can bust up the gloomy, you know? I thought I heard that at one when you were saying, okay, make sure y'all introduce yourself to somebody you don't know. You know, I think you said that. You know, look at the person, honey. If this person to your level, you don't know them, reach your hand out and say hello. Somebody, I think that was you that did that.
We did.
You know, that kind of thing. Just so that we're supposed to be here to mix some things up. How you mixing it? You with the same folk?
Exactly.
You know, you ain't mixing nothing. You know, sit up there and the M&Ms that came over there, and you got specific and separated the colors. Okay, you the blue M&M. Okay.
I love that. I like that. Right? Well, yeah, and that's definitely what we don't want to do. And like I said, I'm open to suggestions. Me personally, and what Brett and Autumn and I try to do, I don't know about Autumn because she's always running around like a chicken anyway, but Brett and I always try to introduce someone to, you know, like if you're coming out and I know that there's somebody there that you need to meet, I'm going to make it a point to introduce you to that person. And we encourage, and that's one thing we encourage people to do. It's not always all about you, even though it's about you. It's called net weaving. And you look at, you know, how can I, you know what I mean? How can I help someone else? You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah,
and you know
it's
what?
almost like
to the
paying it forward.
Net weaving. Oh,
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Take the interest off
that.
of yourself at that point and say, how can I, because it ultimately will come back to you because they look at you as that person that, you know, hooked me up and that has a knack for, you know, genuine, you know, you care. You genuinely care about, you know.
Oh, that's a big one right there because, you know, and I know us as entertainers and stuff, we always say this to folk, and I don't think many of us mean it. You know, when we see somebody at an audition and you done heard about something new, and you're willing to share it, and then they're like, oh, well, thank you for sharing, honey. Okay, let me get your card and your email. And anytime I got audition notices, I'll make sure that you get it. And then you never hear from them again until y'all run into the same audition again that they should have told you about.
Right. Exactly. Right. So true. All the time, Meach.
That tickles me. That tickles me.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time. You know, Child, we'll keep in touch and this, that, and the other. And you know, when I hear something, I'll throw it your way too. And then you know, you found out y'all at the same audition. Neither one of y'all sent it to nobody. You know, and then you lied. Then you show up there, hey, child, you know, that kind of.
But, you know, my thing is, and, you know, it's a lot of superficial, like you said, superficiality going on. Somebody had made that point one time about, you know, why they don't come out to that kind of stuff because they just feel like people being phony or whatever, and they're just trying to, you know, see what they can find for themselves or whatever. And that's cool. I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with people looking out for themselves. But I know that, and you know that as far as the way that the universe works, the way God works is that you get back what you put out there. So if you put it out there, you know what I mean, that energy of just be genuinely concerned about helping somebody else, because this industry is so self-absorbed, and that's one of the things that's working for Get Connected, is that we are for the people. We're for the people, by the people, and that's our motto. We are for the people, and our mission is to connect the underserved community of actors and independent filmmakers in an environment and a relaxing and fun environment that's conducive to them meeting, people outside of their ordinary networks that they wouldn't ordinarily have a chance to meet or be around.
Exactly.
And, you know what I mean? So, it's just about connecting and bringing these folks together. And I'm telling you, we've had some wonderful testimonies. And you can go to our site at www.getconnectedatl.com. And we've got some testimonies on there from people, scrolling through the screen.
Love.
Yeah. People are getting work as a result of coming to Get Connected. People are getting their projects, their film projects funded. Actors and producers are, production teams are forming, and
lovely. I like how you said that, production teams. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, screen. People are having, how our filmmakers, they make these wonderful films, and they don't know anything about getting it distributed or getting it out there. So they find people that are knowledgeable in distribution. We're actually going to do one on distribution coming up soon.
Love.
Yeah, but, at least they get a chance to screen it at Get Connected. You know what I'm saying? That's it's not just sitting on a hard drive somewhere, So,
How about it?
Yeah.
I love that. I'm very excited about those particular aspects,
Yeah.
Because when somebody get a green light for a project and things, I just love that. Now, here's another question. I think I'm going to go for the full million on this one, okay? Okay, that's your final answer. Anyway,
we'll see.
Here it is. Because I know that there's a lot of independent filmmakers that will come out and, Atlanta, a lot of actors that would get a little discouraged because there's a lot of work here, but not a lot of paying gigs here, So you have to be very, selective with your work and make sure that the product is going to be well worth it. Now, will you or will Get Connected as the brand decide to put together a kind of seminar or something that will understand. No, wait a minute. I'm not phrasing that question right. The bottom line is this: we done heard about some of these filmmakers that really are not any good. They really don't know what the hell they're doing, and it becomes a detriment to the community. What do we have anything in place at these mixers? Because I'm sure some of these same names are coming up to where it's not to destroy their credibility, but at the same time, you're going to pull somebody's coattail. You may not want to work with that one, as your first gig. That kind of thing. Are there any safeguards like that yet, or have there been any discussion about that yet, or fill in the blank?
Are you asking, are we providing, some kind of filter for films, indie filmmakers? I'm not clear.
Filter. More so, maybe that's not a fair question. Because when the folks are coming to the event, okay, I'm gonna make up a name and say Scarlet Flu. Okay, Scarlet Flu then came in, and Scarlet, every time Scarlet thinks that she got the Midas touch, but every time she's done the project, you hear her actors, everybody who's been on the film, say this child don't know what she's doing. It takes forever. The sets are never right. We're always running late. She always promising pay or whatever, and it's always on deferment. We never hear anything. We never got the project or whatever. And then she comes to these events. Every time we turn around, Scarlett is there. She always casting, always looking for actors, that kind of thing. has there been, any kind of discussion on that, or it may be safeguards in place to where when you get the new babies that's hungry for work, we can pull their coattail without necessarily discouraging Scarlett from saying, no, bitch, we don't want you here. But, you really need to learn something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Has that become anything? Or maybe I'm astral projecting.
No, you on point. I wish I had the magic answer for you. Because while we can't discourage Scarlett from doing her thing. She gonna do her thing. But what I would do, my responsibility, like you said, our babies, is to kind of like be a resource and just kind of like me. I always encourage new actors that reach out to me and say, hey, look, I want to get into this game. What do you suggest I need to do? Number one, for new actors, and then I'll be getting to your point in a minute. But number one is to training. Training. If you don't have any training and you expect to get picked up, by an agent or, get picked up by a producer for a film project, it makes sense for you to get some kind of training, get into class. Number two is to work on getting you a resume, some type of resume built. And even though you don't have any experience, you can still build up a contact information sheet with your statistics. Your vital information on there, like your contact, email, all that good stuff, your skills. Maybe you did some stuff in high school or whatever. But anyway, that type of thing, and we can show you how to set that and format that up. A headshot is key, very key, and a standard headshot that's not some way that's not a shot from from your cell phone and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That your buddy took, that you blew up. It's a standard headshot that we look for, with your name attached at the bottom of it. Should be somewhere on your headshot as well. And now getting to projects. I always say there are always new filmmakers out here looking for hungry actors, and of course, if they can get great actors on their project, the better for them. But for the new ones who may be good but don't have experience yet, I say look out for student projects at the schools. That's the best way, because they have to produce a good project if they want to get a good grade. So the cameras and all that stuff is going to be great, and they've got to, do well. So I would say, number one, go look out for student projects, and then possibly as far as the independent around town, and networking with a positive group of people, with them and see who's there around and what they're doing. Like my network, I have. I work with Blank Stage Productions and quite a few of the production companies around town through Film Atlanta. And we've got, if you go to my website, filmatlanta.org, you can see a couple of the shorts that we produced and that we're producing. We're in the process now producing other projects, and, the quality of the work that, I think it starts at the top. So, I, practice what I preach. I get involved with positive, and positive filmmakers who produce quality work, because it represents me. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
If I'm working on a project and you know me and you know that you want to be involved with quality, then you say, well, okay, I know Cynthia is not going to refer me to some mess.
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, it's not mess if I refer you to something. I apologize if I have, but I can't.
Okay, right. Everything is not. We're entitled to a whop here and there.
Right.
Okay.
And I say that because I get a lot of notices from people, and they'll send me stuff. Can you promote my project for me? Can you put it out? Do you blast it for me? This and that. And a lot of times, I can't check into everything that everybody sends me. So I try to put a disclaimer on here. Use your discretion.
Right. Oh, this is just a repost. I have nothing to do with this. I love those.
Exactly.
You tickle me with those. This is just a repost.
But if it's anything that I'm directly involved with through Film Atlanta, know that it's going to be something quality. Blank Stage, Film Atlanta, anything that we're producing or putting out there. And we are producing, like I said, several projects. One right now is a kid project, but you can expect in the future, first quarter to 2012, we've got a hot short film project coming up that we will be posting. I'm working on casting one now for one of our producers in Film Atlanta. So that's one. I got three that I'm just post for and cast. So we're always busy, and there's always something out there.
All right. Well,
yeah.
darling, do you believe an hour and a half has gone by already?
Yes, I do.
It's gone. It's gone.
I'm just looking at my clock, and I'm like, dang, wow. It went by so fast.
It's gone. So what I want you to do, give everyone the website and stuff again. We know tomorrow is the new mixer. Give them where the address and all of that. And then, hey, take it on home, girl. This is your opportunity.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Meach. I really appreciate you. It's the Get Connected event, and for September is at the Foundry at Puritan Mill. This is my first event there, so forgive me. And it's 9/16. You have the flyer up in front of you, Meach, right now.
Just a second.
Here it is. I just want to make sure it's 916 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard, and it's in Atlanta. I was just going to pull it up real quick so that I could repeat it, but it's you can pull up the flyer at www.filmatlanta.org, and the flyer's right there, and it has the address and all the details right there.
Yeah, 916 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard, Atlanta, 30318. Yes, the Foundry at Puritan Mill.
Right.
All right.
And then you can also reach out to me on the Film Atlanta Meetup at meetup.com/filmatlanta, and that is a networking group for independent filmmakers and actors to come out, and it's a more intimate version of Get Connected. We do a lot of very intimate things, like we just had an improv troupe there at our last meetup, which was so much fun. We screened a couple of short films, and so we do a lot of that kind of stuff, and it's very intimate, and you just get to network on a more, with more people that, you just up and close and personal. So it's nice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all righty then, darling. That then will do it. That will do it, honey. I thank you, Cynthia, for coming on out and for taking this time, honey, to just dish your tea with me. And and somebody's at the studio, honey. I got folks coming in for the next segment. So,
all right, then. Well,
okay.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you, darling. All righty.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that there was Cynthia Collins, honey, doing her thing and letting us have it with Get Connected and Film Atlanta, and letting us know what's going on here. Remember, tomorrow evening, starting at 6 o'clock, we're going to be doing our thing, honey, from 6 until 10 at the Foundry at Puritan Mills, 916 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard, Atlanta, Georgia, 30318 is the zip code for those of you who want to put that into your GPS systems to go and find it. Yes, darling, it's going to be lovely, lovely, lovely. This month is called the Investors Legal Month. So you heard us say before that there are going to be lawyers and things there that can come on out and can get you some basic one-on-one knowledge on some of the legal end of the business and understanding copyrights and understanding royalties and, all of those kinds of things. So this would behoove you to come on out and to partake. I would love to be there. However, as it would, the donut shop done called me in. Ain't that nothing? Ain't it nothing? Ain't it nothing? Same time, from 6 to 10, we got a damn meeting. Department of anyway. Okay, I'll talk about that later. It was my off day, so if you're understanding me, you understand. Okay, but anywho, yeah, that there is the mixer tomorrow. It's $10 for those of you if you're questioning. There is a $10 donation, and as you heard, honey, that they have a charity that portions of the proceeds go to for a charity every month. So they will announce that when it's there. It says valet is $5 per car. All cars must be valet. There's no self-parking. So that's very important, children. Your car must be valet. So come with another $5 for your valet, and they ask you to come cash ready. Have either singles or $5 bill to move it expeditiously along the way. Okay, so that way, if you govern yourselves accordingly, honey, if you stay ready, you won't have to get ready. How about that? Okay, that's from Monique and Rodney Perry. I love that. That's not mine. Okay, I'm starting to get slap happy because I'm sleepy. Okay. And I'm rambling, so y'all know what that means. It's time to shut it down. So have all your crumpets, honey, because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach. I love you, honey, and I thank you, and I appreciate you, honey. Tell a friend if you love me. Tell an enemy if you hate me. But one thing is for certain is that this thing will move forward one way or the other. Giving it to you straight, the way it's giving it to us, honey. Fabulously and fierce. No shade, no cynicism. I love you. I'll talk with you guys real soon, okay? Ciao.